My alone time is for everyone's safety, and I'm going to show you where I spend that time. Hi, my name is Corydon. This is my channel, Puppets Over People. I am a puppet builder and cosplayer. I love cosplay competitions and building really big ideas and designs, but a lot of people have asked me where I make all this stuff, and it is in my very favorite place, which is my craft room. So I would love to give you a tour and show you a little bit of my craft room so that you kind of get an idea of where I do all my work. Welcome to Puppets Over People. Let's get started. All right, let's start with a little bit less interesting stuff. This is my storage unit from Menards. This is a build your own shelf type of thing where you choose as many shelves as you'd like, however many height poles you want. And I did get these white containers from Target. They are amazing. I label the outside with stickers from the dollar store so that I can always interchange stuff or change things out if I get rid of things. A lot of the stuff in here is my silicone molds, my miniatures, my rubber gloves, and some of the bigger containers down here contain some larger projects that I'm working on for my puppets. So this is pretty much just where I store all the stuff I don't need right away, but I might need for a future project. Over here we have kind of my extra table, as I would consider it. This is where I leave a lot of stuff to dry. If I have something painted and I need something dried, it does have a silicone mat on top, as well as a cutting mat if I needed to use glue or a hot glue gun or something like that. It does not stick to the countertop, which is really nice. And then we can continue on. Some of my puppets are down here. This is the larger room of my craft room. My puppets get stored down here, and that's pretty much where I store all the things that I don't need all the time. Let's get into the more interesting stuff. This is my biggest craft table that I have down in the craft space. This is half of a ping pong table, which is put on bed risers so that it is up to counter height. That helps me with cutting. I use a lot of this for like large pieces of fabric, large pieces of foam. This is the entrance to my hallway. I am a big advocate of if you can't fix it, flaunt it. I did have a small leak in my plumbing upstairs, which leaked down onto the drywall down here. So what you have here on the left is my way of flaunting an error that happened. I didn't want to try to figure out how to put drywall back up with the texture that's on these walls. It would not have matched. It would have looked weird. I would have not been able to match the paint. So instead of fixing it, I flaunted it and I built the shelving unit. This is the hallway. This is where I get to display a lot of my artwork, a lot of my kids' artwork, as well as having a very long table for anything that needs to stretch out a long distance. I do have my vacuum former here, as well as my flocking stuff and puppet eyeball setups. I do puppet noses with vacuum forming. I either mold them out of clay and vacuum form them with plastic and then cover that with fabric, or I 3D print the noses or whatever I need and then vacuum form it that way. So I do keep this here because it is a heating element and I don't want it near any fabric or paper or anything like that. This is 2 8-foot lengths of pegboard, which is amazing to keep all those little incidentals off the counters and out of containers, like washi tape, heat seal tubing, extra containers, things like that you just don't need all the time, but you do need them at hand and you don't want them getting lost in a tote or a box. I built these. These are just 2x4s in the shape of a square. I did add a shelf to the top so I could add more paint cans up there. For more storage, such as glue sticks and extra things that I've acquired over the years. This is the other end of the hallway. This is where I have my sewing machine. I have all of my paints that are on the wall, and I have some more technical storage over here. These are like my keychains, my lengths of chain, and also all of my crayons that have been divided by color in case I want to do any crayon melting. My sewing machine I use all the time. It's really nice having it here because it's out of the way, as well as the fact that I have this big long counter. So if I have something that has a lot of length to it, I can use the counter and drag it across. This paint storage I got off Amazon. This desk I got off the side of the road and repainted it. And this machine I won in a draw through my quilting group. So I am very blessed to have this machine. It's a Bernina and I love it. On this side, I have these wire racks that I got from Lowe's. These are used under the kitchen for kitchen counters. I have my jacket because I get cold down here sometimes. It is a basement. But having all of these things displayed, like stencils, wire, like little, like floral wire, all these little embellishments, things like that. It's nice to have it not in a bin because then I see what I have and I use it. This holds a lot of my bigger paints, a lot of my glues, my artist elements like mediums and washes and pearls and fabric stuff, as well as markers and fabric markers and spray bottles and extra paint that doesn't go in the bin up there. And this is the other end of the hallway. Just around the corner from my sewing machine, I have two large cabinets that I got at a resale shop. They're small drawers. They hold ping pong balls, soup spoons, which I use for puppet eyes. And I also have my container for my Dremel tool. I do keep all of the Dremel tools organized, and because I use them so much. I have my white shelf behind me here with a lot of puppets that I've purchased. I try not to use those in videos as much because they are purchased. So I leave them up there. I also have some more metal pegboard behind me where I hang a lot of my Velcro and tape and things that I need all the time. It's kind of a quick way to get at it. Behind me is a dresser I got at Target. This is a 4-drawer dresser. I love these because they're very sturdy, and I store all of my puppet clothes as well as my technology in the other one. It also was nice to have these pegboard. I got these bins off Amazon. It holds all the little things that you need all the time. I have like my measuring tape and my elastic, things like that I use every day. Behind that, I have another 4-drawer dresser, that's hard to say, with a Lazy Susan that I made into a storage container. These containers are from the dollar store. I put all of my skewers, my wood sticks, everything that's in here, little scissors, pens, pencils, toothpicks, anything that I might need. And it's on a Lazy Susan, which is really nice. Behind that is my color wall. That is actually all glitter. I have a large piece of metal that is that magnets are attracted to. I covered it in fabric. And then I used the plastic containers from Hobby Lobby or Michaels. I glued magnets to the lids and I stuck them up there like a giant rainbow. What's really nice about that is I don't have glitter spilling all over the place, and I can see what colors I have without having to dig through everything. So that is where I keep all of my glitter. I have some of my marionette puppets here behind me. The kids love to play with those, so I do make those easily accessible for them. Behind this, I have another dresser. This has all of my wigs and hair in it for puppets and for cosplay. Up above, I have some of my puppet elements that I use for photography. Like I get these ornaments from Christmas that look like a Mountain Dew can. Put a little Velcro on there and the puppets can be drinking Mountain Dew. I have a couple puppets in the works right here. My giant bin of scissors and little magnetic containers that I again got from the dollar store, which holds little things that I don't need all the time. For instance, I have hair clips, bobbins, picture hangers, you know, stuff that you just don't need all the time, but you need to know where it's at when you do need it. And I have my wood carving set. All of my paint brushes are currently over here because I'm working on a project, but I use these little Lowe's paint bin looking things, and all of my different paint brushes are stored in those. This is the first puppet I ever made. He's very interesting, but I keep him out to remind me of how far I've gotten and how far I've grown from this guy to some of the puppets that you see in my videos. So let's keep going. Behind me, I have my garbage can. This garbage can is from Menards. I put the wheels on the bottom that come with the garbage can. This is used for like construction sites. I love being able to move my garbage around because depending on what table I'm working at, I need to throw something away. I also made this. This is two baking rack things or cooling racks that I took the legs off of on a big yardstick. And the reason I have that is because I use a lot of spray glue. So what I do is I lay it over the garbage. I can set whatever I'm working on the garbage. I can spray glue over the garbage, put my items out there, use it and glue it without this getting messed up and all the extra glue goes into the garbage, which is amazing. I did make a big crack right here so that you can throw things in the garbage if you are gluing something. So behind me is the shelving that I got off the TikTok shop. This is the stuff that gets folded up. Each one of these baskets is a different puppet that's in production. On the outside is a paper that I created of every element that needs to be made from that puppet. In each basket is a little bin. This is for their eyeballs and any accessories they have. And then in the bin has their clothes, their legs, their arms, their body, the head, anything else I want to add to them that I might find laying around or that I want to add to that puppet. If I do get an idea for a puppet, I will put their name on there, circle male or female, and create some kind of accessories or shoes. I tend to build puppets off the clothes I find, so I do it that way. I have these clear bins from Target that have all of my clips from Dollar Store in there. These pink clips from the Dollar Store are a game changer. They are amazing and I use them for everything. So there's large clips, there's small clips, and seriously, for everything, to hold foam pieces together, to glue down cardboard, to pinch together something while it dries. I'm telling you, these are the way to go. I have a lot of my puppet parts made in bulk. So I have all my hands right here. I have all my thumb tubes in here. I have a wig rack that holds all of my cosplay wigs that I'm not working on right now. And then I have these thin containers from Target which hold all my patterns. What's nice about this is I can stack these on the shelf. I can see what patterns it is and I can grab them without an issue. So this is where I keep all of my bulk parts as well as my scraps. I keep every single scrap. Over here, I have two large closets that carry a lot of my like spray paint, my things that I don't need all the time, but again, shouldn't be out and on display. It also is kind of cold in there, so it keeps everything from getting hot and worn out and stuff like that. I do have this craft cart, which I absolutely love. It is on wheels and it has everything that I need to make a puppet. So if I'm working on a puppet or a cosplay out in the big room, I can just wheel this out there. It has my Sharpies, my razor blades, my contact cement, and my cutting board if I need extra, as well as clay, my hand form sanding devices, my gloves for using the Dremel, as well as my gloves for using a hot glue gun. So they do make gloves. I use cooking gloves that are heat resistant so that I don't burn myself. I have a lot of stuff, but I love it all. So let me show you my table. This is my favorite piece in my entire craft room. I don't know why, but I think it's because it's where everything is made. This is my craft table. This is the easiest craft table you could ever make, and it is amazing. I love this craft table. So the two four drawer dressers that I got from Target, I got two more. This is how I built it. I got two more. I built those. I put caster wheels. I put wheels on the bottom so that they move. So the whole table rolls. This is just a 4x8 sheet of very expensive plywood that I have had for years and years and years and years. I used a router around the outer edge so it wasn't rough, and then I sanded it and painted it as light pink color. This table has been lacquered with a clear coat, And that's it, because I love the wood grain, and it also covers some of the imperfections of where I dripped paint and stuff on it. But I love this table. On the bottom, I wrote a message and had my daughter and I sign it when I built it. What's really great about this is it's huge, first of all, but you can move it. It's not dismantling an entire table to move it to a new house or a new craft room or a new different area. You just literally take the board off and move the 2 dressers, which are on wheels. So this is amazing. I have my TV behind me. When I'm working on something and I'm having my alone time, which is for everyone's safety, I spend a lot of time at this table, so I get to watch really corny horror movies, and it's amazing. So this is the last area in my craft room. This is my heat station. This is where I have some pretty heavy duty silicone on top of a piece of plywood, on top of another countertop or counter bottom, kitchen counters, kitchen cupboards, bottom cupboards, whatever you call it. Anyway, I have a heavy piece of silicone up top here. This is where I do all of my hot gluing and all of my heat gunning. I didn't want to damage some of the other surfaces in the craft room, so I do anything that involves heat here. I also have it near a plug, which is a little bit more stable and not running off extension cords, so that my heating elements do heat up to the proper temperature. I did hang a pegboard behind it so that I can actually hang my heat gun and my hot glue gun up top. And I have just one of these clear bins right here with all my glue sticks, so that everything is just ready. What's really nice about hot glue and silicone is that you can pretty much use silicone on hot glue and it will not stick to it. Peels right off when it's cool. So if you need something pressed together with hot glue, or if you're trying to make something that you want to kind of shape out of hot glue, or like even heat up Warbla or something like that, then you would do that here on the heat table. And yeah, that is my craft room. I love it. This is my happy place, and I hope you find your happy place too. Go make something great. Thank you for joining me in my craft room tour. I'm super excited that I got to share this with you. I absolutely love it down here, and I hope you love yours too. Keep crafting, keep creating, and live happy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.